Week 4.
Goddamn shit-ass dicks.
But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
And because I'm an impatient man, I immediately rush my ball carrier down the left sideline because being patient doesn't give my brain any dopamine. And while Crenbowl is moving his players back to defend, his bombardier gets the one play he's allowed to have a game.
Tactical nuke incoming!
But because Crenbowl moved everyone he could to the left side of the field, it freed up the right side, giving me a lane to run my ball carrier through and pass for the touchdown. And on to the next kickoff where it starts with a quick snap, which gives Crenbowl a slight advantage on the drive, but then things like this happen.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
But because things like that happen, a gap was created for me to blitz the pogoer, in which the blitzer is feeling selfish and grabs the ball himself. But since that blitzer was super tired and didn't feel like running away, goblins are able to take him down and grab the ball on the bounce. But everyone must have been feeling lazy today since no one feels like running with the ball. The blitzer is able to knock down that goblin ball carrier and it bounces in a place where another player can grab it and start running towards the end zone. And on to turn 5 where the ball carrier runs into the end zone for the 2-0 lead. And while the goblins are down, the chainsaw is still out here hurting my players and my dreams.
And there comes a giant fish!
And now, the goblins are still trying to drive downfield, but unfortunately fail the handoff, causing a turnover. Hey, you want to see an absolute genius play? Here's me, blitzing and picking up the ball, hoping to score. Except you can't hand the ball off with the same player you blitz with. I should know this by now, but, you know. So, on to the next half where Crenbowl sends all of his goblins to the left side to protect his pogoer. And I'm going to be honest, I actually didn't expect him to make it that far downfield so quickly. So I just had to let him go and give Crenbowl a score, making the game 2-1. And now this late into the game, with both teams being the walking wounded at this point, defense is going to be harder for both sides. This does give me a chance to score with an open lane on the left side of the field. And that leads to the final score of the game, ending this one 3-1.
It's all ogre now.
New zombie.
Now, I could give a long explanation as to why the ogres did really well on this first drive, but I feel like this sums it up pretty nicely. So, yeah, 1-0 ogres. After this drive, though, 5 of the 6 knock players get up to prevent total disaster. Unfortunately, drive 2 doesn't start off much better for Hippo as the goal fails the pickup, leaving the ball right in the end zone. And here comes an ogre with a head of steam to knock that goal off his feet.
Look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Now the ghoul does try to grab the ball, but fails to do so, and it scatters to possibly the one spot he didn't want. And this leads to possibly the easiest touchdown this ogre will ever have, making the game 2-0. But Hippo doesn't want to leave this game empty-handed, so he begins his drive downfield. Unfortunately, ogres don't take kindly to people trying to play the game, so one of them throws a knobbler at the poor ball carrier and knocks him over. And because of this artillery strike, the ball lays on the ground where it will unfortunately stay because the ghoul fails to pick it up, ending this game 2-0.
I'm the giant rat that makes all of the rules.
Bless this ravaged body.
So, Biopock starts this game off with a classic Skaven play of, what's it called? Running away from everyone. And then they proceed down the left sideline. See, the only problem with a plan like this is that it doesn't really leave you with much protection. So, Cola has his blitzer run in there and knock the ball carrier off his feet. And this is a great opportunity for Cola to get this ball and turn the drive around. Alright. So, 1-0 Skaven. Alright, but on turn 5, Cola has an offense of his own that he wants to show off. So he passes off to a blitzer, who then runs it deep into Skaven territory. And next turn, he blitzes a gun runner that decided to be in the way, and then the ball carrier dodges away and scores the touchdown. And here's some Skaven shit. Thrower runs from the back of the Skaven side of the field, pass to a gun runner, who then runs it all the way in for the touchdown. But humans can do some silly shit too. Here we have Cola exploiting a gap in the center of the field that Biopock's left to gain a foothold on the Skaven side. And while there is a blitz attempt by the Skaven, it unfortunately doesn't work, so on the next turn, Cola runs the ball carrier in to tie this game at 2-2. And this next drive doesn't start well for Biopox as a blitz comes from the outside and knocks the ball carrier down on the field. Unfortunately for Salty, that was about the only person he could get around the ball. And with an open lane formed in the middle of the field, Biopox is able to grab the ball and hand it off to another player, and get pretty far away from the humans on the back. But change to the first half, as there's not a lot of protection for that Skaven ball carrier. So Cola blitzes them once again and gets that ball on the ground. But Biopox is able to get more bodies around that loose ball. So he's able to grab it and once again move away from the humans. But this time, no one's able to get to him and they score on the very next turn. Now Salty only has 2 turns left to score, so he just has to make this pass to get the drive going and... you hate to see it. Well, Biopox takes this opportunity as well to grab the ball from under them to score again himself, which he successfully does on turn 16, ending this game 4-2.
You elves are all the same. All flash and no fear.
It's alive!
Starting the game off on turn 1 where we have Corn bringing his elf to the left sideline, which remained unguarded by his lash actually. This allowed the elves to run down the sideline, which gives them the easy score on turn 2, already putting the elves up 1-0. Well, Zalash is fond of scoring quickly as well, it seems, as he has his team bust through the center line to give his werewolf ball carrier some protection, and on the very next turn, barrels through the secondary to run his ball carrier in for a 2-turn touchdown, tying the game up 1-1 on turn 4. And not to be outdone, Corn has his elves run down the left side and score on turn 5 because defense is for people that don't like big numbers. And we aren't done in the first half as Zalash picks the ball up on turn 5 and gets some protection by his teammates. But that protection doesn't help him as an elf is able to bring him down on the 1-die block. And even though the ball gets knocked down, that same werewolf blitzes through and dodges away to grab the ball, only to fail the GFI. So the elves take this opportunity to grab the ball and throw it to a player downfield, who ends up catching it, but then fails the subsequent dodge. Now Zalash is able to get a hold of the ball again, but a pretty good play here by Corn happens because this werewolf is the only player that can score due to everyone else being too far back. So he puts a lot of his resources in knocking them down, and even fouling him to make sure that they are not a factor. This actually knocks him out and prevents the score from happening before half. Next half, but pace isn't letting up. The werewolf runs all the way into the elf side of the field where a cage is formed. And Elf, however, is able to dodge in and get a block on the ball carrier. But that ball is picked up on the scatter by a Flesh Golem. And I mean, who's going to stop him? Well, the answer is no one. 2-2. Now on the final drive where Zalash is all over these elves. And yet, they are still able to pass the ball, run away, hand it off for the final touchdown, ending it 3-2.
The trees have learned violence.
And starting this game off with what could have been, as Sarcasm brings the Kislev boy in for a leaping blitz, but only gets a push, which allows the elf on the next turn just get himself out of there and hand the ball off to another player. And this leads into the quick turn 3 touchdown. Turn 4, the Kislev try and pick up that ball. Nope, double ones, fuck you. So this War Nature comes in, knocks the Kislev out for not being able to pick it up, picks it up themselves, and then fails the GFA at the end to score, causing the ball to scatter. This should give the Kislev a great opportunity to get the ball back and turn this around. Alright. So the Wood Elves just grab the ball on the ground and run it on the next turn for the touchdown. It only gets worse from here. Next drive, Kislev pick up the ball, try to throw it across, fail it. Hate to see it. Next turn, Wood Elves not waiting around at all. Pick it up and start moving downfield. Next turn, oh, people in front of me? Like I give a shit. Leap over them, continue running. More people in front of me? Nah, smack them down, score, 3-0. And now in the fourth drive, there is still a chance for Sarcasm to get some offense going. So that's 4-0, Wood Elves. Now on turn 14, the Kislev finally have the ball in their hands. The Wood Elves just go ahead and blitz that ball carrier and... Hold on, we can't have that on YouTube. Ah, better. And on the same turn, the Wood Elves just go ahead and pick that shit up. 5-0. And honestly, at this point, I just have to respect Sarcasm for going for the throw again, despite not working at all this game. I respect it. That doesn't change anything. The receiver failed to catch again. Well, once again, a War Dancer comes in and blitzes and grabs the ball. And on the next turn, runs it in for the touchdown, ending this game 6-0. Pour one out for the Kislev.
No one has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Why won't you die?
And starting this one off with an immediate blitz event that say it has some negative consequences for Cross.
There's an endangered species right there.
But as compensation, the ball does scatter onto the other side, thus giving the Skaven the possession, who then take that opportunity to run down the right sideline. And to not complicate things, the Gutter Runner runs it in on the next turn for the 1-0 lead. And now the High Elves start their offensive drive and leave a pretty good cage to protect their ball carrier.
Are you sure about that?
Alright, not that good. A Stormverm does come in and knocks the ball carrier down. But here's the thing. Elves don't really give a shit about your defense. The thrower gets up and chucks it into the end zone, where another elf is there to grab it, tying this game up. However, Skaven feel the same way towards defense. So that ball is handed off to Gutter Runner, who then sprints downfield.
I was running.
Now, there is an attempt at a blitz here, but, yeah. So, that'll be a 2-1 to the Skaven. But once again, the Elves answer back immediately, with the thrower making the pass, tying the game up at 2-2 before half. Now, I do actually like this play from Bayward. He knows he doesn't see anything in the center that he likes, so he runs and hands the ball off to his thrower, and he then moves down the right side of the field. So now that throw moves further downfield, and once again throws to a receiver waiting in the end zone, giving the Elves a 3-2 lead.
Nice throw!
Hey, next drive, you won't believe what happened. That's right, the Skaven run it downfield. Now, there is an attempt to stop this, but like many of the other attempts, doesn't lead to a knockdown, and this gives Skaven another touchdown, tying this game up again. Now, final drive. Bayward has his thrower roll to the right to begin his march downfield, but this time, Cross has an answer for it, blitzing down that thrower and knocking the ball on the ground. Well, with the thrower out of commission for this turn, the lineman decides to chuck that ball in for the score, ending this game 4-3 in the High Elves' favor. And that is everything I have for you guys this week. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that YouTube garbage always helps me out. But thank you guys again for watching. I've been Big Papa Pope, and I will see you next week.